Hani, and for this week our group will be talking about the taboos, the local norms, and the education system of the Dusun people. Now, my teammate Henry will talk about the taboos, I will talk about the local norms, Marwa, Aida, and Godwin will talk about the education system. Norms is something that's usually done by the people of the culture. For example, the easiest example, we're looking at Malaysian people. Now, a norm of the Malaysian people is to eat at night or go out to have to eat with friends, which we call lepak, and it's normal in the Malaysian culture, so that is a norm. So moving on, I'll talk about the norms of the Dusun people. Now, the first norm I'll talk about is the norm during an engagement ceremony. So an engagement ceremony is pretty much a very important family event in the Dusun community of Sabah. During the not so olden days, perhaps in the 60s or 70s, pre-arranged marriage among the Dusun community was very common, although it is not practiced now as as the culture has evolved. The engagement deals with parents dealing with the children about the pros and cons of the marriage, and if agreed by both parties, the marriage will go on. During the engagement, a team member of villagers and family members from the boys' side will head over to the girls' house together with a piece of cloth, usually a sarong, and a piece of hand ring called gohong, if available, and a betel leaf container made of copper, gold, or silver, which is to offer. Also, they'll bring together pitunang, which is an offering, which is usually not more than 50 ringgit. So acceptance of this offering is a sign of good acceptance of the boy to the girl's family. Now this then will be followed by the dowry or the napong, which normally averages about 2 buffaloes, a gong, a jar, and a piece of land, and can also involve money. Norm of the Dusun people is to greet almost everyone that they meet in the village, and they will use greetings such as "Where are you going?" which is "Hombo ngoyan nu," and also "Are you here?" also, which is "Iya di." Next, another norm of the Dusun people is the harvest festival. So the festival begins on the 1st of May and is celebrated throughout the month of May each year. It culminates the Grand Harvest Festival celebration on the 30th and 31st of May at the Hongkot Khoisan. Now, the purpose of this Harvest Festival is to celebrate and to honor the rice spirit Bambazon. Now, this is due to their animism beliefs, which we have talked about in the previous video. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Lim Chi Chung. The topic I will share today is about taboo. Taboo is a social or religious custom prohibiting, restricting a particular practice or subject or topic. An example of taboo is sex before marriage by the Christians and the Muslims. Furthermore, taboos are commonly known as topics to not be discussed widely or things that should not be done by the people. For the Dusuns, there are 3 main taboos to discuss: pregnancy, birth, and death. During pregnancy, the mother is not allowed to wander outside the house too often, as a saying that the kid will not wander off or have skin diseases or walk away from home when they grow up. The mother also must not step over the rope to which a buffalo is tied, as the birth of the baby will be delayed 10 or 11 months. This is one of their beliefs of taboos. Secondly, I would like to share about the birth. A mother cannot eat buffalo meat after pregnancy or after giving birth, as it says that the mother would age quickly. Furthermore, the mother also could not wash her hair for the duration of a month or longer to prevent hair loss, and there's a saying that if they do so, they will become mentally impaired when they get older. Last but not least, death. During a funeral, No family member shall do any work, business related, field related, or any work related jobs. While the body is still in the house, all occupants must stay awake. Whoever falls asleep will be doused with water. The purpose of keeping awake is to watch out for the devil. A large bird will try to fly away with the body. That's all. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Govi. I'm going to talk about the education. So for the education, there was a huge awakening for the thirst of education in general from amongst the Kalazan Dusun people in the district of Pinapang in and around the years 1950 and the years following. There were two schools were built during that time. It has separated into boys' school and also the girls' school. The boys' school was named St. Michael Primary School and the girls' school named St. Joseph Francis Convent Primary School. Only some children that their parents can afford and willing to pay for the school fees were able to attend to the school. The boys usually being called by the locals as Tanak Mat Misin or Mission Boys, and the girls were as Tanak Kombin or Convent Girls. Both schools are converted to secondary school afterwards due to the Second World War.
My name is Marwa and I will also be covering the education. Kurdistan Dusun language are being proposed to the federal government to be taught in schools in Sabah by the Kurdistan Dusun leader Tan Sri Datuk Seri Panglima Bernard G. Dompok in 1994. Syllabus that aims to preserve and continue the Kurdistan Dusun heritage was introduced in 15 primary schools in 1997 on a trial basis. The teaching and learning of the Kurdistan Dusun language in schools progressed steadily from then on. Currently, there are 279 primary schools offering the Kurdistan Dusun language as a subject in years 4, 5, and 6 in Sabah. And there are 38 secondary schools offering the subject to students in forms 1 and 2.
Hi, I'm Aida and I will be talking about education of Dusun. Article 153 of the Constitution of Malaysia grants the Yang di-Pertuan Agong, the King of Malaysia, responsibility for safeguarding the special position of the Malays and the natives of any of the states of Sabah and Sarawak and the legitimate interests of other communities, and goes on to specific ways to do this, such as establishing quotas for entry into the civil service, public scholarships, and public education.